just happens to tell me, he said, "Damn, what if you get a call on the other side of the lake tonight and something happens?" And we started joking, we started laughing about it. And like an hour later, after midnight, dispatch gets a hold of me and said, "Hey, we need you to respond to the south side of the lake. Says a vehicle accident." I was thinking, damn. I looked at it and said, "Man, because of you, you jinxed me." I was like, "Man, okay, I'll be en route." Said EMS en route. Then they said, "No, negative. EMS will be en route after you confirm that there was an accident." So I made my way out to that side of the lake, and I found a vehicle, but the vehicle was not in an accident. It was just parked on the side of the road. I even got out of my vehicle and I started walking around and checking the vehicle. And I said, "There's no damage to it. There's no flat tires. There's no skid marks on the road." And in my mind, I started thinking, "Is this an ambush? Is someone gonna pop out?" And because the police department was getting a lot of threats at that time, so I was thinking, this is someone's gonna jump out, and this is where it's gonna end for me. But I started hearing something off in the distance on the other side of the roadway, and it was over on the bushes, and there was some big saguaro cactus. But every time I shine my flashlight to the saguaro cactus, I always see a figure, step behind that cactus. And so I got my patrol vehicle, and there's no way for me to turn around at that spot where that car was. So I drove up the road. I found a place to turn around, and I started making my way back to the car. But something, told me, said, "Check the car again." So I stopped and I checked the car, and I gave dispatch the license plate, and I asked them, "Hey, can you do a record check and see if another officer can go to the residence and see if these individuals here, and ask them what their vehicle is doing here?" So I got back in my patrol vehicle, and something told me that I need to go back to where I turned around at. So I drove down the road a little ways. I turned around. I made my way back to where I had turned around before, and slowly I turned my vehicle around and start making my way back to where that vehicle was. I mean, I've never, I've never freaked out like this before. Like I've been in shootouts and hostage situations and stuff like that. And I've never had that 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 fear as I had right now. And when I was coming down the road, I was coming up to a group of mesquite trees, and next thing you know, this guy just jumps out in the middle of the road, waves his hands in the air, then runs back into the mesquite trees. I step on my brakes real quick. I grab my radio, and my cousin Daniel, he said, "Man, I've never heard you so scared before." So you just got on the radio and said, "Someone just jumped in front of me. Someone just jumped in front of me." And Daniel said that, "Oh, this is it. This is where Barry dies." So I told dispatch too. So I'm gonna step out of my vehicle. I'm gonna do a welfare check on that mail. I think, "Oh, this is where I'm gonna be taken. God, this is where I'm gonna be taken." So I put my radio down. I put my vehicle in park. I jumped out of my patrol vehicle, grabbed my pistol out, and I had the flashlight. I think, "Oh, yep, this is where I'm gonna end. This is where it ends for me."
Oh
But I
man.
make my way to the mesquite tree woods, and it's a drop off, and I'm standing there thinking, "Man, it's gonna come out again. It's gonna come out." But instead of finding something that was terrifying or scary, was at the bottom of the slope. It was a wash, and there was a little mud puddle from that vehicle. It was an elderly couple, and they were out there gathering some firewood. And what the guy said was somehow the his wife's door opened, and she came tumbling out and rolled down and got stuck in that mud puddle. And when he tried to go down there to help her, the car rolled away from them. And when I found it, down the road from where they were at was where it came to a rest. And they sat there most of the night, and the guy tried to start a fire, but it was so cold that the fire kept on going out. And and when he saw me pass the first time, he was trying to yell at me, down here, but I didn't stop. And when he saw me come the second time, that's when he told his wife that he was going to jump out and wave me down instead of wave me down. Man, he scared. He really scared me good. But I, I that's when I tell some younger officers that I train. I tell them, hey, you have that spidey sense when something's not right. Just follow it. Sometimes it might be terrifying, but you never know. Somebody might need your help, and you'll come across something that's least unexpected. And that's when that happened.
Man, you had me, man. I was like, oh well, gosh, but it sounded like though too that sometimes it's just crazy. You just get that sense like, oh, I shouldn't leave here. There's something here that I need to
Yeah.
figure out.
Oh
And
yeah. Yeah.
you made the round this morning. You're like, man, I feel like I'm not saying all or
Yeah.
or most. I'm just saying some people just be like, well, I think it's just an abandoned car. Let's just see if we can
Yeah.
keep it moving. But that sixth sense got like you were talking about earlier. Got a hold of you there.
Oh yeah. Wasn't a pleasant one, but hey, someone got to go home. Somebody got to hug their grandma and grandpa for however long they they've been around, or they are around. We didn't get a call the next day of elderly couple that was found frozen out there in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they actually went home safe and sound.
Yeah. There was a comment here that said that was a good scary story with